just dropped a new app that I'm really proud of. Yes, it's an AI app, but hear me out. The AI is not what makes this interesting at all. We just launched T3 Chat, and it is the fastest AI chat app you've ever used, if not the fastest app you've ever used. You can take my word for it, or I'll just ask my chat. Hey, people who have used it, how fast is it? Fast, very fast. It's so snappy. It's pretty fast considering it's just Mark typing back to us. This is so fast that the first time I clicked on new chat, I thought it was bugged. I didn't realize the page was already loaded. Too used to ChatGPT that takes a minute, I guess. There's a lot of reasons why it's so fast. There's a lot of things that I'm really proud of. Normally, this is where you would get your sponsor spot, but we're not doing one today because I'm here to show what I built. And before we go any further, it is free to use. The pro tier is $8 a month. It's just for higher message limits right now, so don't pay for it until you hit those. In the future, we're going to add a whole lot more fun, awesome features for that paid tier. But for now, try out the free tier, see how you feel. And please try it. I think you'll be surprised when you see just how fast it is. Like I'm clicking, I'm going to tell it, generate a solution to Advent of Code 2021, day, I don't know, let's pick a number, 8, in Rust and TypeScript. Don't want anyone feeling left out, you know? And this is real time. This isn't edited to be faster. This is just how fast it goes. And while it streams in, you can hop to different threads and it all works. And it's all local first. So I could turn off my Wi-Fi and still be able to navigate, do things. And as soon as I finish working on search, even search across your message history. I'm really, really proud of what we made here. The data architecture and the application architecture is unlike anything I've built. It's almost funny that we named it T3 Chat because this is the furthest from the T3 stack I've ventured in a while. Laravel's been really helpful. No, I'm joking. Laravel's great, but it has nothing to do with what I built here. Local first apps are their own crazy thing to build. And I still can't believe we pulled this off in 5 days, especially considering the number of different things I had to invent to make it happen. Sorry for the interruption. It's currently like, give or take, around 2 a.m. I've been working all day. I had to fix some Stripe bugs, so a cool video about that coming out soon. But I want to show you guys an awesome feature a lot of people were asking for. After seeing over 100,000 messages sent in the first 12 hours before the video was even out, it was clear what y'all wanted. You guys wanted model selection. And we decided to give it to you. And we're not charging any more money for it. So it's still $8 a month for 500 messages every 7 days. I'll probably change the amounts at some point. You'll get an email and everything letting you know when we do. But I didn't want to lock all of this behind us trying to guess and get a perfect pricing model. I'll eat a bit of cost if that's what it takes for us to figure out what is and isn't right. I just want y'all to have the best time using the fastest chat app ever. I'm blown away with the reception so far, and I'm so excited to see what everybody does now that this video's hopefully out in the next hour or so. Wish me luck. I gotta go edit and sleep. But yeah, thank you all so much for the support. I had no idea this was going to be received as well as it has been. I'm feeling really good, and I hope y'all enjoy it. Bedtime. I've been sharing some snippets of the crazy things we're doing in this project for a bit now. I'm going to share my personal favorite, which is my static app shell. This is a route that resolves my app because I, as much as I love Next.js, knew that it was not going to help me with the entirely client-side everything that I wanted to do. I didn't want to rely on the server at all, other than when you're receiving a streamed message from an LLM. So as long as you're not getting a response, you don't need to be online at all and you're not connecting to our servers. The front-end app is a React router app. I've basically brute forced Next.js into letting me build a mini remix React router app in it. There are still some routes that are built in more traditional ways with Next, that things like our terms of service privacy policy and the auth flow. That's all using standard Next.js server component stuff. But the core app is React router because I wanted something entirely client-side. And the whole app doesn't even render when you do the server pass. You'll see here, I import this with SSR false because I want the whole thing to be on client. I don't want to wait on the server ever. I got the blessing from Vercel, at least a couple people there who thought that this was surprisingly cool. And I know they're working on making things better for those of us who want to do SPAs and really client-heavy apps in Next. But for now, I DIY'd it. I'm really happy. If you're curious how this works, I have my rewrite here in my Next config that redirects all paths that aren't resolved some other way over to the static app shell. And now everything is that static page. That's far from the only thing we did to make this good, though. I have been deep in this wonderful, weird, obscure, forgotten library named Dexie. Dexie is a minimal wrapper on top of IndexedDB, which is a browser standard for storing a ton of data inside of your browser itself. The actual API for IndexedDB is is garbage. I'm not going to pretend otherwise. It's really bad. So we needed this to be the layer on top in order to actually be able to use it. They have their own Dexie Cloud sync layer product thing that I started looking into, but I wanted something different. So I ended up building my own. We have our own sync layer. It's a bit complex. And if I go into the details now, by the time the video is out, I might have already changed them. So I'm not going to. But know that we are hacking the hell out of Dexie in order to make this sync layer experience work well. Also doing some cool stuff where I combine local storage, data fetching, and caching, so everything's as responsive as possible. Like your auth state is currently stored locally, not as the only source of truth, but as a backup. So you don't have to wait for the server to tell you what things are. There are no loading states. There are just stale states. So if you were to subscribe, but you had this open in another tab, it would just say free, even though it should be pro. And then when you do something else, it'll upgrade itself to pro. There are so many of these things I did throughout the app. From on mouse down being the way you navigate with my custom link component, to prefetching everything that could ever happen, to abusing the React compiler and memoization. I actually got some help from Aiden, the person who made MillionLint and Million.js, the god of React performance, who's been doing all the crazy demos of React Scan and showing how slow these React sites are. He collabed with us a bit to make sure we could get the rendering as fast as possible. I have been using this since we had an early prototype 4 days ago as my only chat app, and I couldn't be happier with my experience using it. And that's why we built it. When you go to something like Claude, for example, if I go in here and I click this embedding markdown content in Next, wonder why I was looking that up, you get a loading spinner. Go to something else, loading spinner. It's super slow to navigate when you send a message. If I say, tell me something cool about Rust, still waiting. Now we're starting to get it. It's a fundamental difference in experience between what we built with T3 Chat and what I've experienced in every other one of these apps. As someone who uses them a lot, it's been a really nice change. Got a really good question from YouTube chat I wanted to talk about quick. What if LLM vendors just improve their existing chats? Is my entire product just dead? Yes. Most of the products I build are built in a way where if the competition was to wake up and do things right, the product would be dead. If Zoom was to realize that streaming's a thing and make it easier to include a Zoom person inside of OBS, ping dies immediately. Hell, Twitch tried to do this with the Twitch guest star product and failed. The reality is that if the companies were capable of doing these things, they probably would have already done them. And as much as I like to think my push building better things will get them to, it usually gets them to try, and it's very rare that they succeed. I've watched many products try to copy what we did with ping, upload thing, webhook thing, marker thing, pick thing, and I'm expecting people to try and copy with T3 Chat as well. That would be great. Straight up, if somebody makes a better chat with more features that is just as good an experience as what we have here, I'll probably subscribe and use it. I didn't build this because I want to be the only person with a chat app everyone uses. I built it because I wanted a better chat app. And if people like it a lot, awesome. I'm super hyped. And if they don't, or something else better comes out, still awesome. I spent 5 days on this so far. I'm really proud of what we built. And if the result is someone else making something better, that's good too. But I think the ChatGPT team's a little too busy rewriting their next app in Remix to catch up to the crazy stuff that we're doing over here. I know some of y'all are disappointed. This is Theo going down the AI pipe. We didn't do anything interesting with the AI here. What's interesting is the experience we built around it. I'm trying to take my expertise in building really good, really performant applications in a local first way for the web and apply it to make other apps that deserve this type of treatment feel better. Chat is saying that this is pure UX. Absolutely. The goal here is to make the user experience as good as possible. Not because those 5 seconds matter a whole lot, but because the actual experience matters a lot. You should feel good when you're going around these apps, navigating and doing things. It's been a great experience for me, and I hope it is for you guys as well. And if it's not, let me know. We want to fix it. We have a ton of awesome features planned that I'm really excited about. The one I'm personally most hyped for is the dedicated desktop app. I'm tired of having my AI chats be a random tab in Arc, the same way I'm tired of having my dev mode be a random tab in Arc. I want the things I use the most to all have their own space here. So we'll absolutely have a T3 Chat app with a lot of cool new things like hotkeys and other behaviors in the near future. Obviously, we want to have file uploads, something like projects with context. Local first search, I'm really hyped about too. One of the ones I haven't seen anyone else do, branching chat. Why? I want to be able to take from here up and make a new chat for that. But the goal initially was to make something that feels as good as apps that I already love to use, things like Superhuman and Linear, that are local first apps that feel great when you're spending a ton of time inside of them. This tech isn't worth it most of the time. Building this way isn't great when you have an app that's really heavy on server-side work. But when you have an app like this, where I just want to navigate, click around, and do things, I don't need the server very often. I found that building this way is really, really awesome. One last thing, because I almost forgot, we now have a T3 chat channel in my Discord. If you want to give feedback about how things are working for you, issues you have, and we'll do our best to monitor this and keep track of everything we can. But if you have problems, come here. Somebody's probably already had the problem, and if not, we should know about it so we can fix things. We want to be really receptive to the community and the people using this. I have the features I want to prioritize, but I will immediately delay any of them if y'all have things you need more. We really want to be as community-driven as possible with this project. I want to have the best AI chat app ever. And that's not just going to be building the exact thing I want. That's going to come from every one of you guys using it, telling us what works, telling us what doesn't, continuing to build and iterate on top of it. That's all I have. Go flame me for being an AI bro now, but at least give the app a shot if you can. I'm really proud of what we built, and I'm curious what y'all think about it. Until next time, peace nerds.